Hey everyone, it's Rustabout Collector here, and if the new background and inconsistent video upload schedule didn't already give it away, I've recently moved, and so there's a lot of new things happening with the channel, including a new room, a new space to be doing recordings in, some changes to the collection, and most important of all, I went to the Columbus Toy Show. A couple months ago, I made the big move from Ohio all the way up into Michigan. This is my quick little update before a toy haul from Columbus Toy Show, because in the process of moving, I downsized some of my collection and I set up at the Columbus Toy Show, which, if you're in the Columbus, Ohio area, I highly recommend that show. It is one of the best shows that I have ever been to. So let's get these out of the way. These are just some figures I had on my desk, and we're going to take a look at the haul. One thing I do have to cover though is that I closed my old P.O. box back in Ohio, so that's no longer a valid address, even though it's under pretty much all of my old videos, so I have to go back and edit all those. But I have a new one up here in Michigan, and I will have that linked down in the videos below. The first thing was just these three little pieces and parts. I'm going to use these for custom bits later on. I think they're from old Star Wars, like 5 POA figures back when The Force Awakens came out. Now for this next one, I was literally walking into the show to set up my booth the night before, and I saw this on the table next to mine for $10. And it is a sealed Lego Galidor figure. Nick Galidor, John Galidor. No, it's Nick. It's, you know, the main character of Galidor, and I've not had any of these figures on card before. It's a little bit dusty and dirty. I have yet to clean this one, but it's so fun to have this. I have an entire display in that little booth there of all my Galidor figures. I should have a mostly complete collection of them, but I didn't have room for all of them on that shelf, so that is the main cast of characters, and now I can put this up there with them. This box art is so fun and nostalgic. It shows all the different features of like how you can glinch the characters together with other pieces and parts. Shows the lineup of characters, which I'm pretty sure these are all the ones that I currently have. The Nicholas Bluetooth with arms that turn into jet wings, and now the Nicholas Bluetooth that has the punching robot arm. What iconic characters, am I right? And there is still a $4 Meyer sticker on there, which I just love. I'm wondering if that's actually the clearance price, because goodness knows that these were not exactly the most top-rated selling products of, what year would it be? 2002. Next up, I pulled this classic Halo Reach CQC Spartan for like $4. Always good to have another Spartan with some good armor pieces. Love the CQC armor. I wish it had its shoulder pads, but for $5, I'm sure I can pull some out of my collection. Now, maybe a week or two ago, I did a live stream, and if you caught that, you saw me building some of these Halo Mega Blocks. I think for it was like $10 or $15, I got 3 bags of Halo Mega Blocks. Super cheap. This is a mostly complete broadsword, I think. I can't remember exactly the name of all these vehicles, but we got this one. We got most of this Hornet, which actually has a light up, like light and sound feature, and I cannot figure out for the life of me. Oh, wait. There is a button there that I did not realize was there before, and it doesn't work now, so maybe the batteries finally did give out. And yeah, always good to have more Halo vehicles in the collection. Unfortunately, these didn't really have a lot of figures with them, but for $10, I felt like, hey, there's some good pieces for these sets at least. Then there was not one, but 2 Warthogs. We've got the older Flame Warthog, not the new one that came out like a year or two ago. This was the original. And then we have this, I think, Halo 4 Warthog that also should have some lights and sounds, but all that white stuff coming out of the hood there, I found out that that is all battery acid from the batteries in this thing, so maybe this will clean up, maybe not, but this Flame Warthog is still really cool. And again, Halo Mega Blocks really aren't on shelves anymore, and these older sets are hard to come by. I never really find Halo stuff in general at toy shows these days, so when I can find anything, whether it's McFarlane or some Mega Block, I am jumping on it as quickly as possible. I actually forgot, there was 5 figures that came with this bag. I think they mostly go to the sets included here. The Flame Trooper Marine and the Halo 4 Marine here are on the older body style, and then we have some newer body style Spartans and such. So I don't think that by any means this makes these sets complete. I think there's still some missing Spartans and Marines, but hey, more figures for the collection is always welcome. And last but certainly not least is this Covenant vehicle. I don't know the name of this. I think it's from Halo Wars, but it's really sweet, mostly complete, and yeah, I love this color of purple. The Covenant vehicles from the Halo Mega line are just so cool. It's got this like metallic swirling effect on the plastic that just gives it a very metallic look, and it looks really good in terms of like the in-universe look of Covenant vehicles. These sets are really great. I'm happy to have them in the collection, and hopefully I can kind of piece together the last missing pieces. but really, I would just wish that we still had these kinds of sets on store shelves. An extremely surprising find was this little Lego Batman and Super Angry Kitty attack from the Lego movie. This set is completely sealed and in extremely good condition. I think I picked it up for $5, and you know, anytime you can find retired Lego sets for basically retail price, you can't really go wrong with it. So for $5, I got this set. I love the Lego movie, so even though I don't collect a ton of sealed Lego, this will be kind of a cute little small box that can go on my shelf and look really awesome as a sealed product. In the time since the toy show, I genuinely forgot I even got these. At the bottom of that bag were all of these. This was from, I think, 2 booths. One, I got this guy for $1, just a standard antenna mold clone trooper. It was at like a vintage Masters of the Universe booth, and he had just like this one figure for $1, and I was like, that's how you find the good deals. You go to the booths that don't have a ton of Star Wars, they have something else, and sometimes you find a little hidden gem like this. But these here were all like $1 a piece, so I've got 2 more of the 2003 ARC Troopers. Then we have this clone gunner from the Clone Wars, the newer Clone Wars, with a huge Z6 rotary cannon. I think this might have come from the Walmart exclusive pack, I'm not totally sure, but I forgot that they did Unleashed figures for the 2008 Clone Wars, so it's kind of cool to see these. The other one, I absolutely love this whole action pose that he's doing. He's like vaulting over this ramp, and he's got his DC-15 blaster out like he's, you know, maybe shooting some droids as he does it. This is so cool. These poses were just absolutely insane. It makes the clone gunners look like ARC troopers in this pose. But then we've got this battle droid with the security markings. Again, I didn't know that they did a security droid in the Unleashed line. I got a classic 212th trooper. I might send this one over to JCC2224 just so he can have a couple more in his collection. Not that any of us need more clone troopers, but hey, it's fun when you can find them cheap, and yeah, they're very easy to army build. It's hard to say no when you can find cheap clone troopers. And then finally, I got 2 that I've been looking for a while now. These are basically the same mold minus the helmet. So first we have Commander Devis, which I think on the packaging they called Commander Bly. Really sweet, unique mold here with his Kama, his arc gear, his little blaster pistol there, the old droid style blaster pistol before they made the DC-17s. He looks absolutely great, and I love the old concept art clone troopers being made into toys, so I had to snag this one. But they didn't stop there. They used his body, at least, to make this guy. Just a fun little repaint that they did. I love this design, and so because they were like side by side in the bag, I was like, you know what, I gotta get both. I gotta get Devis because of course, and I gotta get this guy because it's just a cool repaint. It doesn't have a name, he's just a clone commander in blue. It wouldn't be a good toy haul without some Bionicle making an appearance. For about $10, I got this bag of Bionicle, or I guess bin of Bionicle rather. But yeah, there's a lot of pieces and parts in here. I can't really show them that well on camera. There really weren't any masks or anything, but yeah, I was happy with it at the time. But then I found one really interesting piece, and I have to talk about it for a second. Inside that bin was this singular chest plate from Hero Factory, and if you know, you kinda know. They released these in a lot of colors, but this marbled black to silver effect was only available through the online Hero Factory Hero Builder, where you would build a figure on the website and then buy it and they would ship it to you, and this was a very exclusive chest plate for that specific offer. I didn't really know about this until recently, but yeah, this is a very rare piece. I think it goes for like $150 on its own. So for $10, I got really lucky with that bin. Some good Bionicle parts just for the bulk bin, but then this exceptionally rare piece just randomly showing up in a bin like that. It's so awesome. I love little pieces of Lego history like this that are kind of niche lore, and it's also really awesome just to have that in the collection. Now, I know this isn't Bionicle, but I have no idea what this is. This was in the box with the Bionicles, and this robot figure is so cool. The joints are really posable. It's got this like big marble head that just looks, whoa. It lights up also, which is super awesome. So this figure is something, probably like a Mega Block spinoff or some other brand that was trying to capitalize on the buildable figure thing. But this is just a sweet robot design. And so this is just staying in the collection as like a cool figure. It's super posable with the fingers, the hands, this like giant hollow chest piece. And then there's all these armor bits that I suppose probably were swappable or something. There's probably more pieces that clipped onto it. That's what it gives the impression of, at least. It's hard to say no to just a giant cool robot figure, especially one with a light up feature. We're nearly at the end here. Again, I was there to sell stuff, and unfortunately I came away buying stuff, but I definitely sold way more than I bought, so that's at least some comfort to me at least, because I did not want to move more stuff with me, so I tried to sell big stuff and bring home small things like this. I also finally completed a part of my collection that was really necessary. I got Bad Batch tech, specifically the Series 2 version. I had the Series 1 version of all the figures for Bad Batch, and then I had all but tech for the Series 2 look. A lot of these figures were actually just peg warming around the time of the show's release, and then yeah, it was kind of brutal. Like when the show was released and then Tech died on screen, all the Tech figures were gone and I could not find him to save my life. So finding him for 15 bucks loose, but with all of his accessories and his removable helmet, which I have not done this yet. I think this is the one where he's got the goggles still attached. There we go. Yeah, this is the version that has a much better likeness to the character. He also has the goggles on his head instead of removable, like with the helmet, which was a very weird design choice by Hasbro, but yeah, this is definitely a better head sculpt than the first one. Again, 15 bucks for a figure that I really needed to complete a collection of figures that I really love. I love the Bad Batch. I love the character designs. I wish we were getting like Season 3 designs, like the Clone Renegades and stuff, but man, they really just kind of wasted the potential of that whole entire season, and we are left with just Season 2 figures, which I'm grateful for. Now, if only we could get these in the vintage collection. But I'm happy that they're in the Black Series. I will take them. Glad to complete that set. It always feels really good to be completing a lineup of characters, and honestly doing it, you know, through a toy show is also very rewarding because you're kind of on the hunt and then you find something like this and it just all comes together. And this one, I did not pay $15 for this, thank goodness. But this little trooper right here is part of a very, very important project I am working on. So yeah, this is the McQuary Concept Clone Trooper, and honestly, you could probably swap that helmet and use them for the TK Troopers from the Bad Batch. That wouldn't be a bad idea. He has, he's got Jyn Erso's blaster from the Black Series. That's definitely not for him, but he does have his lightsaber, so that's cool. Old school McQuary concepts were neat. You know, the Stormtroopers all had lightsabers, but more importantly, they all had shields. And one thing about me is that I love silly spacemen with shields, whether it's like the Doom Squad from the Clone Wars, or Spartans, or Gundam. Anyways, I like silly spacemen with shields. And so this guy, well, we really don't need him, but we do need this. And we also need this. And maybe this one. And I guess probably this one too. So my project here, and we're just going to take this one out of the box on screen. It's painful. I know we're opening, you know, 20-year-old figures at this point. I did not pay $15. I came back towards the end of the day and basically just made the guy an offer on all of these that he had. The coin is always appreciated with these 30th anniversary figures. You get the lightsaber, you get the shield, and also this is the correct blaster that you're supposed to get with these guys. Now there are two variants. There's the silver shield variant and there's a white shield variant. I really wanted the white shields, but I could not find them anywhere, so the silver shields will have to do for now. But this is what I envision using them for, making a squad of clone troopers with these blast shields. Now I really can't take credit for this idea. This actually comes from Box of Clone Trooper Lot over on Instagram. He did this with his clones and it looked absolutely awesome. So I was like, man, I sure hope I can find some of these for cheap, and sure enough, I did. I'm not sure if I'll use them on Shock Troopers specifically, or if I'll find another group to put them with, but ultimately, these just look so clean. And that is everything I picked up at the Columbus Toy Show. Again, I probably should have been selling a lot more stuff and not buying more stuff, but thankfully, this was a fairly small haul, all things considered. I got to meet a lot of really great people, and so that was also a blast. And ultimately, I got some things that really fleshed out the collection, specifically these shields and tech. I think those are my two favorite things from the day, and Galidor, of course. Galidor is probably up there with Halo in that you just don't see them at toy shows, and so anytime I can track it down in the wild, it's just so satisfying. So we've got some Halo, we've got some Star Wars, we got some Bionicle, and we got some Galidor. Again, if you're in the area, definitely check it out if you have the chance. I'm going to try and find some toy shows up here in Michigan while I'm up here. But anyways, yeah, that is a quick little update and toy haul. Be on the lookout for an updated collection tour once I have my space fully set up and ready to go. And of course, that new P.O. Box address is down in the description. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, supporting the channel, liking, subscribing. It means the world to me and I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful evening, noon, or night, depending on when you're watching this video, of course. Be kind to one another, and as always, I'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.